Basically, what you're going to be seeing is a sort of montage of a video program that was created for this event, 24/7, a DIY video summit. And the aims of the event were basically to bring together academics, creators, and industry leaders to explore and to map, to put it in the context of this conference, at least conceptually to map the fundamental transformations that are clearly occurring right now in how we create, share, and view video. And we were also aiming to sort of begin a conversation about how new media forms of DIY video is interacting with more established documentary and artistic practices and with existing cultural industry structures. And this, like I said, is an ongoing conversation, and I don't have any answers to that, but it was a very productive grouping of people talking about these various issues. So what we mean by DIY video is bottom-up user-generated video, which is created and distributed outside commercial media. We had a hard time deciding or settling on DIY. We played around with do it ourselves or do it together, different variations that reflect the collaborative element that we feel is central to these emerging forms of video. But in the end, DIY stuck because the term ties into a tradition of people taking technology into their own hands to solve their own needs, creating things for themselves outside professional and commercial industries. So in order to compile the videos that best represented the various styles and genres out there, and also to understand their significance in terms of the ways that the communities producing them understood them, we worked with an amazing set of curators from these DIY video communities. There were communities creating and circulating a variety of different genres of work. There were video blogs, machinima, political remix, art videos, fan vids, anime, journalistic and documentary videos, and youth videos. And each curator basically designed a program representing their community's work. The collection of videos we ended up with was a very powerful, I think, reflection or demonstration of a growing desire and willingness and skill by members of the public to be involved in creating media and contributing to the conversations about issues of common concern. Whether that involvement came in the form of weighing in on current events by remixing political speeches, or, for example, or by weighing in on cultural issues by rewriting the narrative of popular TV characters. So particularly relevant here is obviously the question, what does this rise of DIY video production have to do with public media, or media that spurs rather than precludes public participation? I'll just briefly suggest two dimensions of DIY video that make it particularly promising, I think, as a form of public media. First of all, it's inclusive. And I don't mean this just in terms of voices or sources or perspective, but also in terms of genre. Access to these new digital tools and networks allow for the possibility of diverse forms and styles of communication, which in turn invite more diverse voices. So it's not just about feeding existing forms, for example, by using citizen journalist content as part of stories written and edited by professionals. It's the creation of new forms that empower people to communicate in ways that they see fit, to develop new genres and styles to truly participate rather than being forced to adopt to a particular form in order to be included in the conversation. And second, DIY video can be powerful public media because the very act of creating media and the stories that weave together our communities and our societies make people more engaged. And Pat mentioned earlier John Dewey. He's one of many philosophers and media and journalism scholars that have been talking about this since long before the advent of digital media. James Carey in the late 80s wrote, the public will begin to reawaken when they are addressed as conversational partners and are encouraged to join the talk rather than sit passively as spectators before a discussion conducted by journalists and experts. But even still, there's a lot of resistance to this idea that the public could offer anything truly valuable to professional news organizations beyond free content. Last week, BBC came out with their new Statement of Program Policy that spelled out their plan to allow for professional journalists to elicit, process, and publish contributions from the public in order to offer, more firsthand accounts and in a wider range of views, they said. And while this is certainly a laudable effort, the BBC approach is not about involving audiences in a way that lets them influence the news agenda. Essentially, they're creating what former tech editor of BBC's website, Alfred Hermeda, calls an architecture of publication rather than an architecture of participation. So I think these videos that you're about to watch here, or they're splices of videos, suggest that there is a lot to be gained for both news industries and news publics from making room for the public to be involved in a deeper level.
I'm so excited about video blogging because I can say whatever I want and the FCC can't do shit.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Copy, right? Maybe broken, but it's
Slippery.
Dr. Armour, does it say what God's command is?
to kill Americans.
It was clear long before this event who is a journalist and who is not in the internet age.
The possibility to express oneself does enable us all to become producers of information. Questions of journalistic credentials may be relevant, but those may be reflected in one's skill as a journalist.
We're very excited. It's like learning ABC.
You got video on the web.
The security problem is escalating, and in my opinion, I think you should have more army, actually, the U.S. Army, to guard the borders of Iraq to stop them from coming.
Can I have that, please?
No, that's mine. Dude, run! Go buy your own. Honey, I don't have a job.
Hold it now. You want to make another issue?
Give it back to me.
When I decide, but I'm going to hold it now. Do you understand?
Hey, fuck you, mate! Who put this thing together? Me! That's who! Who do I trust? Me! You want to go to war? You want to go to war? We'll take you to war, okay? I take you out! Go flipping out! I told you, right? I told you!
My glare has burned through her. And I'm sure that such actions aren't foreign to her because the essence of her beauty is, well, the essence of beauty. And in the presence of this higher being, the weakness of my masculinity kicks in, causing me to personify my wannabe, big baller, shot caller, God's gift to the female species with shiny suit, rapping like, hey, yo, what's cracking, shorty, how you living, what's your sign, what's your size? I dig your style, yo. Now, this girl was no fool, and she gives me a dirty look with the quickness like, boy, you must be...
This is Angela Pius reporting from the International Criminal Court building in The Hague. I have with me a former child soldier from Uganda. Please tell us your experience as a child soldier.
Well, to start off, it is a horrible lifestyle. I was abducted when I was only 11. The brainwashing, the killing.
Feel
distortion will be televised. It will be brought to you by me and brought to me by you. It will show pictures of what needs to be seen and some things that don't. It will be broadcast without distortion. It will be broadcast through the cables of consciousness and brought to you by the camcorders of the common. It will be brought to you by PBS, thoroughly broken silence.